From the other side of the Footlights, here is WHRO FM critic M.D. Ridge.
There are not enough superlatives to describe Audra McDonald's extraordinary Virginia Arts Festival concert at the historic Attucks Theater May 15th. Wearing a deceptively simple, long, black, form-fitting dress and a dazzling smile, McDonald sang for nearly 2 hours without a break. With every song, a familiar standard or one not so familiar, she drew the audience into its dramatic story, and audience members felt that she was singing directly to each of them. It was a reminder that McDonald has won 6 Tony Awards, more than any other performer, and was the first to win in all 4 performance categories in both singing and dramatic roles. She had an easy rapport with the audience, telling stories about her life and family, giving information about a particular song and how and why she came to include it. First up was Sing Happy by John Kander and Fred Ebb from their first musical, Flora the Red Menace, for which Liza Minnelli won the 1965 Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical. It was followed by Rodgers and Hammerstein's lovely It Might As Well Be Spring from State Fair, with the introduction that no one gets to hear. Then Hurry, It's Lovely Up Here by Alan J. Lerner and Burton Lane from On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. Stars and the Moon from 3-time Tony winner Jason Robert Brown's Songs for a New World is the story of a practical woman who rejects 2 poor suitors who've offered her stars in the morning. She marries for wealth and comfort and then realizes what she's lost. You could have heard a pin drop. An encounter with a street person who sang My Buddy to her prompted the Juilliard-trained soprano to include the song with the bridge no one ever sings. McDonald said wonderingly, he sang it in the same octave as me. Introducing her pianist and music director Andy Einhorn, who's been with McDonald since 2011, led into a little-known song, Let's Not Talk About Love, with long strings of funny, clever rhymes by the legendary Cole Porter from the 1941 musical Let's Face It. What she called a scary, difficult song by Stephen Sondheim was The Glamorous Life from A Little Night Music, 1973. It's sung by a daughter about the difference between ordinary mothers who lead ordinary lives and her mother who lives the glamorous life. The lyrics are Sondheim clever, but the tune seems to have been recycled in Sondheim's Into the Woods. McDonald related the song to her 14-year-old daughter, whose mother was on tour and on stage so frequently. Einhorn's accompaniment was superb. His playing for Summertime was as wonderful as McDonald's singing of the classic first-act lullaby from the Gershwin's 1935 Porgy and Bess, for which McDonald won a Tony in 2012. McDonald paid tribute to the extraordinary Barbara Cook, the 87-year-old actress-singer who is still performing after 60 years on Broadway. Calling her the Queen of Soprano Isle, McDonald sang one of Cook's songs from the 1963 musical She Loves Me, music by Sheldon Harnick and Jerry Bach. McDonald's daughter as a child told her, Mommy, your singing makes my ears cry. McDonald said of Shana Taub's 2011 poignant bedtime story, The Tale of Bear and Otter, this is the lullaby that I didn't get to sing for my actual daughter. Another Kander and Ebb song, Maybe This Time, written in 1964 but included in Cabaret, was all power, passion, and heartbreak, yet still hopeful. McDonald commented on her Juilliard background, saying, So I should sing leader, and launched into 2 songs from composer-performer Gabriel Kahane's song cycle called Craigslist Leader. Einhorn joined in singing falsetto echoes into the piano mic. It was hilarious, especially when McDonald ended with her hands folded in a prissy, formal pose. At her happy invitation, the audience sang along with gusto on I Could Have Danced All Night from Lerner and Lowe's 1956 My Fair Lady, and were complimented on their willingness. Interesting that both Renee Fleming in her February recital and McDonald used this song for a sing-along, and both sang Summertime exquisitely. A song from Kander and Ebb's musical The Scottsboro Boys asked plaintively, When I'm Gonna Go Back Home, with subtle key changes. Fred Ebb, in his will, endowed a substantial scholarship for new young musical theater composers or lyricists. The first winner was Adam Guan for his musical Ordinary Days. From that musical, I'll Be Here is a bittersweet story of new love, lost love, grief, and hope in the context of 9/11. McDonald's performance was nothing short of riveting. I cannot listen to her singing that song without leaking tears. It's that beautiful. Einhorn did full justice to the haunting, deceptively simple accompaniment. Do Re Mi was a 1960 musical by Julie Stein with lyrics by Betty Comden and Adolph Green. McDonald sang Make Someone Happy, which expresses her philosophy of music and life. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. She joked about playing the Mother Abbess in the recent live television production of The Sound of Music. I'm from the sunny side of the Alps. But her stirring, sincere rendition of Climb Every Mountain was anything but a joke. She began Let It Go from Frozen, then shook her head and made a face. Instead, she spoke of the late Judy Garland. I just missed her, and sang as the encore, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The audience was in no hurry to leave. They looked at one another and beamed. It was as if they were saying, without words, yes, this was unforgettable, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and we all saw it. Yes, we did. And yes, it was. From the other side of the Footlights, I'm M.D. Ridge.